Here I am at the episode of All Things Wally, and I was going to go through and talk about a couple of things relating to carbohydrates. So if you ever heard of carbohydrates before, you know, pasta, cookies, cake, ice cream, sweets, rice, no-goes. All right.
Awesome, bro.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. The reality is, most people think of those things. They're like, okay, if I go white rice, that's the problem. If I go whole wheat pasta, that's better. Where am I at? The reality is, they're all going to be high in carbs. So let's take a look and we'll talk about it. We're going to start out with these things. I know they're quick. I know they're easy. Pretty high in carbohydrates. I'll take a picture. You'll be able to look at it for a second. First off, there's 2.5 servings. So you have to multiply by 2.5. And it's still going to have 47 grams of carbohydrates. And that's just for one serving. So again, I'll take a picture. You can look at it. Let's look at some brown rice. So we're gonna go Wally brand because we're cheap and we don't wanna buy the expensive stuff. But even if you're buying the brown rice, serving size for this is 1/4 of a cup dry. But nobody eats dry rice. So that would mean that if you're gonna cook it, you're gonna get half a cup. Half a cup is a serving size is half of your fist. 1 cup is about your fist. And kids asked me what the name of my page was, told them to subscribe. You do the same. This brown rice that I've got here, that you're gonna have half a cup of. Would you really? Again, I'll take a picture of this, but on here, there's gonna be 32 grams of carbohydrates. Okay, if you're a diabetic, that would be two exchanges. Now, if I go to this white rice, it's no good. Yeah, you're not supposed to have that, right? But if I have a half cup of this cooked, it's gonna have 35 grams. And then you're like, wait a minute, look at the fiber on these things. The fiber on the white rice is going to be 0 grams per serving. The fiber on the brown rice is going to be 1 gram. So the brown rice is still going to be beneficial. It's still helpful. It has a good amount of fiber to it. The fiber is minimal, but it does have vitamins and minerals that are going to be beneficial. It will slow down the absorption of the carbohydrates. Your blood sugar is not going to go as high as fast, but it's still going to make your blood sugar go up. We're gonna go parboiled Jasmine, jump into this one. Again, half a cup of this, which is again, the size of half of your fist, is gonna equal 36 grams of carbohydrate. So 0 fiber, similar to the white rice. We'll go to some basmati, a little bit more expensive than just the plain old white rice. But again, it's gonna have 35 grams for half a cup. So when you're looking at these grains, the reality is that they're gonna all be high in carbohydrates. Not that you can't have them, but it's the amount of serving sizes that you're having. So if you're gonna go crazy on it, you know that you can't control yourself around that rice because rice is life, then maybe we look at some other options. So here's another one that's new to me. I hadn't seen this before, but it's called VT. You have this little rice here, all right? Nice and easy, cooks in 2 minutes, and it's GMO free. Awesome. Let's look at these things. Again, this right here is about the size of my palm. Serving size is 3/4 of a cup. In this thing is 2 servings. There are 47 grams of total carbohydrate in that. You multiply that by 2 if you're gonna eat the whole thing. That's almost 100 carbs. For calories, that'd be 420 calories just from this. Now, compare that to your whole grain and quinoa. Now this is gonna be healthier because it's brown, right? Let's look at the back of this thing. 3/4 of a cup, again, is the serving size. 230 calories, and there's 47 grams of carbohydrate. If you're trying to avoid carbohydrates, this is not gonna be even a healthier option because it's still gonna be high in carbohydrates. Yes, it has fiber in it. This has almost 4 grams of fiber per serving because it's got some quinoa in it. But the reality is that it's still gonna be high in carbohydrates. So even if you're diabetic and you're trying to look for a healthier grain, whole grains are gonna be a better option. But you wanna make sure that you're not going overboard on it because they're still gonna be high in carbohydrates regardless of which grain you're gonna choose. Found some couscous. Okay, so with this couscous, again, serving size dry is 1/3 of a cup, but you're gonna eat it cooked with water most likely, so it's gonna be 2/3 of a cup. If you're eating 2/3 of a cup of this couscous, you're gonna be getting 40 grams of carbohydrates with that, even though it's couscous. So then let's go to the royal rice blend. This is gonna be some wild rice. So again, serving size, 2/3 of a cup. With that, 30 grams. So 30 grams of carbohydrate, it is a lower amount. The fiber, just one. So again, important just to be able to read a label. I'll make a video, I'll put it in here so that you can see how to read labels, because it's important to be able to understand what's on here. Wild rice, while tasty, still gonna be high in carbs, lower than if you're gonna go with the couscous, a little bit lower than if you're gonna go with the rice, but at the same time, still high in carbs. Go find some quinoa. Quinoa that I could find are gonna be the quinoa in a bowl, the box quinoa, or we have these up here. So these are gonna be like pre-cooked quinoa with a little like something on the top for you, so you can mix that into it. But again, this is just gonna be similar to the box that you would get that's gonna have, or this little bag here, that's gonna have seasonings already in it. It's better for you to put your own seasonings in, because then you know how much is in there and you can reduce it or add other rice to it to make it your own. This half cup of quinoa, and again, there's 2 servings in here, so you gotta multiply by 2. There's only 11 grams of carbohydrates. So you multiply that by 2, that's 22. So this is gonna be less than if you're gonna be going with one of the white rice options. I've had these guys searching for the quinoa for me, and all they have is this stuff that's in the packages. So looking at these types of things, it already has the flavoring in there, so again, it's gonna have more sodium. But one of the things I wanted to point out is, again, reading the label. So this right here is gonna be 1 cup. So the amount of sodium that's in this is 350 per serving for a cup, right? And then total carbs is 42 grams. But then if you look at this puppy right here, all right, there's 1 serving is half a cup, and there's 250 milligrams of sodium and 16 grams of carbohydrates. So it's gonna be pretty similar, but the way they package it can say that, oh, well, if you look at it, half a cup, that's not bad, but there's 2 servings. Really, we've just been talking about rice and couscous and quinoa and wild rice, but we haven't talked too much about pasta, but it's gonna be similar. So just go ahead and make sure you subscribe. We'll have more videos coming out soon about other good information for you. Understand that carbohydrates are not the devil. Should have said that at the beginning, but carbs are not the devil. They're not the enemy, but they should be respected. Thanks for listening, and talk to you soon. Quinoa, quinoa, quinoa. Quinoa!